Hello guys, what we've got this week is a slight change to what's happening, so I'm going to give you some analysis on how to work through this week's sessions in terms of intensity. I've also highlighted it in like a traffic light system, so where it's green, that's like aerobic work, nice and steady. We have like a high end of that and a lower end of that. And then we have amber, again a high end of that, a lower end of that, and then a red zone and a high end of that and a lower end of that. The red zone is your really hard, short work. Your amber, yellow zone, that's really high intensity. It's like, doing like say a 5k at a consistent pace. You could put a few words together, but you couldn't maintain a conversation. And the green is that you were jogging rather, and able to put a conversation together with you and your running partner, for example. So I'll get started then. So what we've got on Monday is we're going straight in at the lactate. Alright, so anaerobic work, but we're going to be more towards the lower end of the amber. So how it should feel is you're getting some lactate in the muscles, but you're able to manage it. Alright, it's like on your threshold, the anaerobic threshold, okay? So that's Monday's session, that's how it's going to be, how it will feel. Very similar to running that 5k, if you've run the 5k before, that feel, but one where you can maintain the pace. So it should never be where you have to stop, get your breath back. Alright, that's going too hard, that would be in like the red zone, the high end of the red zone. Let's go start. So on Monday, you've got home workouts, you've got 4 rounds, 200 metre run, 20 kettlebell swings, 200 metre run, 20 goblet squats, and then a nice jog, easy 200 metres recovery between the rounds. So this is to drop your heart rate back into the aerobic zone, flush a little bit of the lactic out, and then obviously go again for your next round. This one's scored on your slowest round, so it's very good for pacing, okay? So if you set off too hard, for example, got a really quick time, and then suffered the consequences of that in the next round or the third round, then that would be your score, the slowest one. So this is going to be good. So it's anaerobic, okay? 200 metre run, 20 kettlebell swings, 200 metre run, 20 goblet squats. The indoor option that you've got is, again, 4 rounds, 20 box step ups, 20 kettlebell swings, 20 down ups without a push up. So you drop down and you don't do the push up part that we would on a burpee, and then stand back up, you don't do that bit. 20 goblet squats. Now it's the same for the box WOD, same pacing. You've got 2 10-minute AMRAPs on the box WOD. Your weightlifting, for those that can do the weightlifting, we're going to be doing 1 hang clean, 1 split jerk. We're going to be going every 60 seconds, so it's every minute on the minute. You want to start at about 65% of your 1 RM clean and jerk, there or thereabouts. Doesn't have to be bang on. It's just a good starting point. It's like heavy, but it's not too heavy. Alright, you should be able to maintain technique from the get-go. Add weight if you feel like you can, the technique's going well. Strength for this day, for Monday, is 5x5 back squats, aiming to get up to around about 80% of your 1 RM. That's like the high end there. Okay. So moving on to Tuesday, because we've worked anaerobically, accumulating a lot of lactate on the Monday session, it's going to be quite demanding, therefore we cleverly need to do a sort of an aerobic session on the Tuesday. Alright, so what we're going to be pushing for here, it's green, okay, so nice, it's a steady pace, but you know you're working. You could kind of put a conversation together. This time it's going to be at the high end of that, alright? So how do we judge that? Well, for example, a low end might be, let's say, a 135 or 130, and a high end of that zone, this is heart rates by the way, about 145-ish for me. So you can see there's a about 10 beats per minute. So again, you shouldn't be getting slightly out of breath, but you're there. You're not accumulating too much lactate like you did the day before, so it's definitely not as hard a pace as the Monday session. This is to enable a bit of recovery on Tuesday while still working out. Okay, so the workout for Tuesday, you've got 4 rounds, 12 dumbbell bench press. If you don't have the bench, you can just do it off the floor. 8 side single arm dumbbell rows. Okay, 8 per side dumbbell death march. Now the death march, you get the dumbbells here, you take a step, reach over, touch the floor and walk through. Okay. Any questions, just ask. It's good to be active on the page. Just ask the questions. I'm more than happy to answer. Rest is needed between your exercises. So it's a bit of like kind of like a strength session. It's steady state whilst working different movements to what we normally do in CrossFit. Beneficial stuff. So bench press, single arm dumbbell row, death march. This is with a dumbbell, and then you've got another 4 rounds of 8 per side single arm, half kneel and dumbbell press. Okay. 8 per side. 8 per side dumbbell bicep curl. 8 per side single leg hip thrust. Rest is needed between exercises, maintaining that heart rate. So guys, on this one you're going to be working out. It's going to be quite strenuous in terms of the strength side of things, but your heart rate is never jacked where you're accumulating too much lactate, but you know you're working. Okay, and I hope this makes sense. So we're trying something new, and we'll have this going forward. When you look on the forum, I've highlighted these and put a little explanation in each part. Okay, so moving on to Wednesday. One second. Okay, alright, so Wednesday we're going to be moving into a mixture. So in terms of effort intensity, like you've been asking guys, this one should be accumulating some lactate, so you're feeling that burn sensation. It's hard work, but then also dropping off back into like recovery for a little bit, then up and down. So you're up and down, in and out of that. You're definitely never redlining, so we're not going at the red zone, alright, but you are working with bits of recovery. Now the workout, we've got, it's a time workout, so you're pushing, but because there's like devil's press and the double unders, you're going to have to manage your heart rate. So you'll be working, the devil's press will jack your heart rate up, try and stay nice and relaxed in the double unders to get your heart rate back and hopefully into that green zone, ready to go back, work hard-ish in the devil's press. And you might want to be smart about how you're breaking them up so that you don't go into the red zone, guys. Okay, so a lot going on in this one. It's 10 down to 1 devil's press and a clean and jerk. So you do 1 devil's press when you've got the weights up to your shoulders this time. What you're going to do, so you're going to do 1 devil's press up, bring them back down, and then jerk it overhead. Okay, into 30 double unders or 60 singles. Okay, burpee grunt overhead, yeah, and then the shoulder. Okay, box squat, same intensity, guys. We've got a 30-minute AMRAP on that one. The strength, 3 sets of 10 per side back rack reverse lunges. So it's a total of 20 reps in a set, alternating each leg as you go. And the weightlifting is 1 snatch, 1 overhead squat every minute on the minute for 10 minutes. Start at 60% of your 1 RM or there or thereabouts, give or take on how you're feeling that day. Like I said, everything's just a guide. Okay, Friday, Thursday's rest day. So for let your body recover, ready to go again on the Friday. Okay, so Friday is the red zone, right? So this is where you're going to be really pushing. So you've got to dig in deep. All right, it should feel awful, but you are going to get recovery with it. So you work super hard, feel lactate going up into that lactate zone, feel really out of breath, and then you're able to recover again and go again, up and down, okay? What have we got? Well, we've got 4 sets. We've got A1, A2, A3, A4, and we've got, so A1, 60-second AMRAP, 30 seconds rest of 12 air squats, 10 dumbbell hang snatch, okay, so hanging not to the floor, alternating, into max burpees in the remaining time. So it's only 60 seconds, so you can see how it's a red zone, you can see how it's literally go, there's no messing about, it's like a bit of a sprint, it's a race. That's how if that makes sense. Rest 2 to 3 minutes before you go into A2, so you've got the rest there, guys, so you've got to work hard and make the most of it. Alright. Then you've got a 6-minute EMOM, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds rest of 10 air squats, 8 dumbbell hang snatch, alternating max burpees in the remaining time. So it's slightly different, guys. Working for 40 seconds, resting for 20, every minute on a minute, yeah? Again, at that red zone, guys, you've got the 2 to 3 minutes rest. So enough time to kind of drop your heart rate back down at the aerobic into the green zone and go back into the red zone. Okay, and then a 30-second AMRAP, 15 seconds rest, 8 times, 8 air squats, 6 dumbbell hang snatch, alternating max burpees in the remaining time. And then A4, 12 times. It sounds all complicated, but if you write it down and you draw lines across, so you break in each segment, like A1, draw a line, and you've got A2, draw a line, A3 and so on. A4, 12 times, 20-second AMRAP, 10 seconds rest. So you're 30 seconds in total. Rotate through the intervals. So number 1, you'd be doing air squats for max reps in 20 seconds, rest 10. And then dumbbell hang snatch, alternating for max reps. Remember, guys, key here, max reps. And then 10 seconds rest. And then burpees for max reps for 20 seconds, 10 seconds rest. Okay. 12 lots of that, 12 rounds. So a very, very high intensity, tough day this should feel. Now for the other stuff we've got that day, gymnastics, we've got skill. So gymnastics, we've got either 4 or 2 chest to bars every minute on the minute for 10 minutes. By the way, on Tuesdays, which I've just realised I've missed out, I'll come to that at the end, okay, so I'll drop back. And the box squad, again, the red zone, you've got 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off, 10 rounds. So you're going to do 10 kettlebell swings, 10 burpees over the kettlebell. Rest 2 minutes, 10 deadlifts, 10 box jumps. Okay, so 10 total rounds going through. Okay, so each round's 4 minutes, yeah? Alright, let me drop back to Tuesday. Okay, so on Tuesday, you've got, it's green zone, alright? And I'll have to skip past it, there we go. So I told you it was the strength kind of work, the 4 rounds, but I didn't give you the box squad. So the strength is seated strict press plus barbell rows. So you're supersetting seated strict press from front. Move over, maybe rest a minute into your barbell rows. Okay, 5 by 5, just as heavy as form allows. So you're in the strength zone there with that. Yeah, 4 to 8. Remember for strength. 8 venturing out, 4 venturing towards hypertrophy, 4 venturing towards a bit of power. Where you've got 5, so you're right in there, right in the strength zone. Your skill is gymnastics. You've got a 10-minute EMOM of either 4 or 2 toes to bars every minute on the minute. And your box WOD is at max aerobic power, so I want you working at the high end of your aerobic. So you're kind of venturing on a little bit of lactate, not accumulating too much. You're kind of there, but you're not. You shouldn't be accumulating any lactate really, but if you find that you are, just drop that intensity back a little bit and just keep it hovering around there. You got A1, A2, A1, A2, so you repeat the workouts, A1, A2, go back round. And the goal with this one, if you have got the right intensity, is to set a pace that you can hit all the intervals even at the very end. If you find at the end that you weren't able to hit the rounds and reps that you got, that's an indication that on this particular workout, what I want you to do is that you went too hard. Alright, now you had the harder day the day before. Alright, so bear all these things in mind. Okay guys, I hope this helps with the intensity. You might need to watch it over a couple of times just to get to grips with it. Please feel free to ask any questions on the members page. Okay, good luck with the week.